Lights, camera, action. Blue steel. Photos, photography. Pretty easy to do today. Everyone has a camera if they have a phone or smartphone, and you can take pictures pretty easily. However, not all photos are created equally. There can be something said about artistic photos that are done in a way that help differentiate yourself, show a little bit of personality, and have some flair or some edge to them. And real experienced photographers, they're going to know how you can do things just a little bit different that will make a big difference. When I'm on LinkedIn, I connect with a lot of different people, or other social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Now, if you're taking a random candid, you can have pictures, all sorts of different types. If you're going to take images that represent you, or your company, or your products and services, you want to make sure that they're done professionally and they really capture the essence of your brand. Now, if that means a little crazy and chaotic, or a little bit more organic, that's fine. If you're trying to portray something that's more corporate, then you want to make sure that that comes across too. Too many times, especially when it comes to personal branding, I'll see someone maybe that has a photo of themselves that they like, but it wasn't done professionally, and they try to crop it out of another picture. The lighting's a little off, the background's distracting, and overall it just does not do them justice. Don't be that guy or that gal that does that. Make sure that you have a photo that helps to look as good as you can, but make sure it looks real too. I don't know if you remember, I'm dating myself a little bit here, but back in the 1980s, there was a thing called glamour shots. And they would boof up everyone's hair, all the girls' hair, and put all this makeup on them, and have really soft lens, and they would look so glamorous. But they didn't really look like the person in most cases, because the person didn't normally wear that makeup or that hair in that way. It's supposed to look fancy, but in hindsight it kind of looks a little silly because people didn't actually look like that. So you want a picture that's going to look like how you typically look, represent you, so when people see you, it's a good reflection. They want to say, oh, I know you, I've seen your picture, I could recognize you. It's a bad idea, in my opinion, to choose a picture from 10, 20 years ago. Maybe you didn't have some gray in your hair. Maybe you liked how you looked a little bit better. And maybe the picture does more justice, but when people meet you in person and they see, oh, wow, that person has maybe aged 20 years since I've seen their picture. That's not a good impression. You definitely want a picture that represents who you are now. Show some personality to it. Maybe try to do something else besides the standard smile. Maybe you can put a pose into it, or have a prop with you, or really think about the background so you can communicate a little bit more versus just the standard photo. When you stand out, when you get attention, that is how you're going to amplify your presence. Does that make sense? So look at your photos, choose some photos that you have that best represent you. Make sure that you try to use them in your materials, whether websites, social media accounts. And if you don't have a professional photo now, contact a photographer. See what the prices are. There's photographers at all different prices, but know that sometimes when you really price a photographer on the low end, you may not be getting the expertise, the equipment, and the creativity to really make it worth your while. So it may be worth investing a bit more to get the photographer that has better experience and can really ensure that you get some great pictures to represent you and your personal brand.